what we did in yesterday's class. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So in yesterday's class, we discussed about um, object creations, okay, and stuff, okay. For suppose if you need to create an object and fields inside Salesforce, it's really easy. Click on Setup. First of all, log into the application. Click on Setup and go to Schema Builder. From here, you can create the objects, whichever you want, okay, based on your requirement, and you're going to create the fields directly from here, right? So for creating an object, click on drag and drop, and it shows some information here to fill down the label, the object name, and record name, everything, and click on save. These are some simple options, features. If you select these options, allow reports, activities, that will be automatically selected here. Same way, if you want to create a fields, these are the field types. Text field, all these percentage field, number fields, all these fields are here. You can also drag and drop the same fields like this onto the object. So coming down to the database terminology, right? There are, in a database, there are tables. Inside tables, there are fields, okay? So now, vendor is a table, database table, and these are all the fields. In Salesforce, you don't need to write any coding for creating these fields. Simply button clicks, drag and drop. By this way, you can create fields, objects, and stuff. These are all custom objects which are created by me, okay? But in today's class, I'm going to discuss about formula fields. So all these fields are really simple. If there is an object, by clicking, dragging, and dropping the things, you can create fields. If you want to create a currency field, that is amount, it's already there here. You drag and drop this currency field onto the object, invoice object. You simply give the field label as amount, and automatically it picks the field name. See, amount tab, automatically it picks the field name also, and the length of this currency field and decimal places. In currency fields, you generally give as the length is 16 and you can give it as 2 decimals. So that, because you generally use cents also, right? Dollars and cents. This 18 digits is dollars, and you're going to calculate cents with the decimal places. That's how you use decimals. So today I'm going to work on a roll-up summary fields first. Okay. I'm dragging and dropping the roll-up summary field on the account object. Okay. See, why we use roll-up summary fields? A roll-up summary field is the read-only field which displays the sum of or maximum value of or minimum value of the child object records, or count of number of child object records. You can go with this by roll-up summary field. I'm dragging and dropping the roll-up summary field on the account object. You can only create roll-up summary fields on the parent object, that is on the account, and again it should be using master detail relationship only. There are two types of major relationships in Salesforce. One is lookup, that is blue color one. See, from the relationship is going from consultant to account, that is this lookup relationship from consultant to account. Or suppose if I'm clicking on this master detail relationship from training to account. If you see this, yeah, it's here. This is training, this is account. The dark red color line is master detail relationship. The blue color line is lookup relationship. Okay, so you can only create roll-up summary fields when you have a master data relationship from X object to Y object. Now you can create roll-up summary fields on the Y object, on the parent object, on the child object like invoice and trainings, like this. That's the reason I'm creating roll-up summary field on the account object. Okay. What I'm giving it as here is total number of invoices. Okay, I can give it as on which object you want to summarize, because for account object there are multiple objects which are child objects. See, trainings is a child object with master data relationship. Opportunities is also one of the child object. Invoice is also one of the child object. Right? I want to use run on invoices. Click on that object, summarize by count, max, minimum, max. Sorry, count, sum, minimum, max. These are the functions you can use, you can summarize on this type, on this invoice object. On any of these objects, these are all the only options. Summarization type is only 4 options you have available on roll-up summary fields. Okay, and in this scenario, I am going to select count because my requirement is to count the number of invoices, right? I am selecting the count, and total number of records should be all records should be included in the calculation. If it is that condition, I can select this, but only some records are included. Okay, in this case, for suppose if I am trying to use the maximum records on, see, the maximum date I can use, latest date I can use. For suppose if I'm selecting created date, but this won't fit for this scenario. In this case, what I have to give is recently created invoice dated on, sorry, date of recently created invoice. If that is the field name, I can use created date. Max created date means if there are 4 invoices, if the created date is the greatest one, means the latest one, then obviously that will be copied down to this field. But in my scenario, that the best way is used to count total number of invoices. That's fine, and I click on save. But so roll-up summary filter criteria cannot be editable in schema builder. That is the reason you cannot show this option here. But when you are creating the roll-up summary field from the actual object page, okay, then you can do that. I'll show that to you. Click on view object. Now you can see the list of account fields on the new tab, right? Now going to the roll-up summary field what you have just created. That is number of what is it? Number of invoices. See, number of invoices. Total number of invoices is underscore. So this is how it creates the field names. If this is the field name, it automatically appends underscore if there is a space. Total underscore number underscore of underscore invoices underscore C is the field name. You know about this. I'm clicking on this field. See, this is a roll-up summary field counting on invoice object, but I want to click on edit and I want to modify the filter criteria. See, I'm clicking on count. See, by default the filter criteria is I am running it on all records, but you can also show the number of records created in this year also, if that is the requirement. If you don't want to count all the invoices, if you want to count only the invoices created this year, then only meeting this requirement. Select created date equals to created date greater than, you can give the date You can give like a date, like the date format, like what's the date? 0 1 2 1 hash 2014. Now all the records after this date will be automatically captured. Means all the records after 1 January 1st 2014 are getting, means total number of invoices after this date only will be calculated. This is the filter criteria. In the previous scenario, from the schema builder, you have only option to create roll-up summary field without any criteria, but you are running the roll-up summary field on all the records. The reason why you cannot do that is there is no sufficient place to show the formula field. That's the reason. That's the reason they are asking to go to the fields and create this advanced roll-up summary fields. Same way, when you are discussing, when you are talking about, when you are trying to create the formula fields, it's better to create formula fields from the back end, okay, from the account fields. So that's okay. I want to remove this filter criteria. I don't want. I want to run on all the records, not on the records created this year. Okay. Click on save. Now I want to create one more simple field on a formula field on the invoice object, because the invoice object is here. There is the amount, and so if you're charging some amount to any customer, you have to pay the approximate amount, means some X number of X percentage of tax to the government, right? In this case, I have to calculate the tax also, and I have to charge the same tax to the customer. If that is the case, if that is the requirement, I can do one thing. I can copy the formula field onto the page, onto the invoice object. Yes, and I can put down tax amount, and the return type is currency, because you want written currency, because you want to do operation on the amount field which is instead by you. So you are calculating tax based on the amount. From where are you getting the amount? Amount is the other field which is already in the invoice object, right? Click on the decimal places, click on 2, because you are using currency field and it has 2 decimals. It may be in cents also, okay? And I am giving it as invoice. If I want to insert a field, simply select invoice object, because this is a very simple basic formula field. If you want to build advanced formula fields, yes, you can go do it from the back end. I want to pull down the amount information, select this, click on, see it automatically inserted here. Amount underscore is the field name, field API name. For the amount information, star is the operator. I can directly write like this, or else I can click on this and I can click on multiply by 0.10, means 10%. If there is 10%, 0.10. If there is 9%, 0.09. Multiply with that. Currently I am thinking that's 13%. I am giving like this. Save. No, okay. So treat blank field as zeros. If there is no value in the amount, the tax will be zeros. Okay. If there is a value in amount, it automatically calculates and it shows the actual value. If there is no value in amount, it obviously shows zeros. That's okay with me. Sometimes if you want to show blank values, you have to use this option. You have to select this option. When you are trying to do operation on strings, you don't need to show zeros. You can show blanks in this scenario. When you are doing operation on numbers and currency values, you can use text, treat blank values as zeros. That's the best practice. Okay. Clicking on save. Now the formula field is saved. If there's any error on the formula field, yes, it shows some error on the same screen. Formula field is also the logical part. You have to think a lot while writing it, but it's really simple. By dragging and dropping, you can do the things. You are doing automation. You are doing automatic logic with formula fields without writing any code by simply clicking on buttons, right? Now you have built a invoice object. Sorry, you have created a simple field on invoice object to calculate the tax on the amount what you are charging to the customer. Now I want to create one more formula field which calculates the total amount. So total amount is the sum of actual amount plus taxes. Okay. Type currency. Okay. Decimal places is 2. Invoice amount. Okay. Plus the amount underscore C. No, it's not case sensitive. You can use anything. Amount underscore C into 0.13. Do one thing. You can use brackets also to combine this value. Anyway, it's not required. Obviously, the high priority in this scenario is the star is having high priority. First it multiplies, okay, and later on it sums up. For detailed understanding, I am using brackets. So if there is any error, it shows error in the same screen. 3 blank values as zeros. That's okay because it's a currency field. Click on OK. Now the 2 fields are saved. So you have created 2 fields which automatically create values in the system. Okay. Now, what is auto number field? I already said you. Or suppose I am using invoice ID. Or suppose you want the sequence of invoice numbers based on the customers. Okay. If you are charging 4,000 invoices from starting of your company, now the new invoice you are creating is 4001. The next invoice is 4002, INV-000000 4001. Next is INV-0000 4002. Next 4003, 4004, like this. Because each and every transaction, each and every payment you want to track with some ID, some sequence of numbers which is useful to track what is the invoice amount and to which customer it belongs to. Okay, that's the unique number which you want to give. If that is the case, then you're going to use invoice ID as auto number. You select on this, so that you how it looks like. Yeah. And that's it. Now let's go back to my training force object. Yes, I got some questions. Alphanumeric means yes. Alphabets and numeric, exactly. For suppose the format I can give as INV1 hyphen 000004. Okay, the starting number, and because obviously, exactly, yes, I can do that because when I'm creating a I'll create before you one auto number field, but I won't save it. Tell me if that is your requirement. If you are asking me to create A001 type of requirement, then I can go with this scenario. I'm dragging and dropping auto number field. Okay, and sample ID. This is the field label name. This is the auto number field which I'm creating the sample field, but I won't save it. I will give AA. I can give a select number as 1. Okay, I'm clicking on save. What happens now? This is auto number field created. So for suppose if I go back to my system, click on invoices, and I have to show one thing before going to this field creation. If I'm clicking on new, see I'm seeing only very few fields here. That is customer, bank details, amount, payment, due date. That's fine. See, if you want to adjust these fields, if I want to align this amount field in the bottom of bank details, yes, I can do that. How to do that? For each and every object, you can create fields. Okay. For each and every object, you can have page layout. What is page layout? The front end. What all you are seeing in this page, you can control with page layout. The thing what you are seeing on this page, you can control with page layout. What is a page layout? It's a drag and droppable page layout. Means it's a new editor where you can drag and drop the fields to adjust the field things. Okay. How to view? How to go to the page layouts? One way is go to the object. By clicking on this. Okay, I'm closing this. I'm going from starting. Okay. This is invoice object. If I want to modify the layout of the invoice, the best way is click on this, click on view object. That is one way. The other way is click on edit layout. Directly you can go to the layout. If I'm going to the view object, this is called quick access menu. This option is only available for system administrators and developers. Okay. So if I want to modify the fields, click on view fields. If I want to modify the layout, view some object and stuff, click on view object. If you want to view validation rules on this object, click on this. View approval process on this, click on this. You want to create new, just come here, click on new. You want to create new object, click on this. You want to create a new fields on this object, click on this. This is for editing the current object, current application, tab list in the current application. Okay, and you can edit the tab of invoice tab. You can edit the layout of this invoice object. If I click on this, then it opens in the new tab. I'm opening the edit page layout. What happened is, why I'm opening this is, if you see, I have created some fields from the schema builder. But when I'm creating the fields from the back end, I'm trying to add the fields to the page layout in the third or fourth step. But I'm not doing it in the scenario where means when we are trying to create fields from the schema builder, I'm not adding these fields to the page layout. Now I'm going to add. When you are trying to create the fields from the schema builder, you have to separately do this task separately after finishing all field creations. Come back to schema builder. Now this is the schema. Sorry. Come back to the page layout after finishing the schema builder work. Fields creation. This is now you are building the page front end UI. See, I am dragging and dropping the amount field here, and I am clicking on quick save. Quick save means it stays on the same screen, but you can save the changes to the database, to the backend system. Click on refresh. What happens? See, the amount field which is here, it's moved to here. I simply drag and drop the amount field from here to here. That works. I'm changing it back, and I want to add this 3 IDs also. Sample ID, I will remove it immediately. Okay. I want to add even amount, tax amount, total amount also. That's I will add it after exactly after. Okay, I will do one thing. Okay. Now it's good, right? You can align it properly. The amount is here, the tax is here, the total amount is here. Okay, and then see all the fields are added. See, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 fields. All the fields are added here. See, okay. Now I'm clicking on see. If there is a red color symbol, red color star means it's required field. We have to map the customer. If you want to make the some field as required, that is amount field, click on this, make this required. Click on OK. Now the star is here. Why? Can I change the required option for customer? No. Why there is a star is, this is a relationship field, that is master data relationship field to the account, that is customer object. Account and customer are same in my scenario. If I'm clicking on this, double clicking on this, yes, I can't change this option. If I'm clicking on 4 or 5 times also, I can't change this because that options cannot be modifiable in this scenario because this is a master data relationship. I can even remove and check this also. Okay, and I'm clicking on save. Now what happens? Now you have seen the page layout. After, if you click on save, see what happened. It took me to the previous screen. If you click on quick save, it saves the things to the database, but it stays in the same page layout screen. You can do some more updates also to the page layout. Right now I'm giving the customer, okay? I'm giving the customer as I'm giving it the amount as $100,000, okay? Clicking on save. The payment due date, what is the last date to pay the bill? Invoice 31st. Clicking on save. Now see what happens here. We have seen some Light is the company which I map. So this company has to pay $100,000 to me. The tax is 13%, means $13,000. $13,000 should be is the tax for this amount. The total amount is 113,000. Okay, dollars is the total amount. Combination of amount plus tax. This is one more formula field. See, you can see the formula fields. You can see the log symbol. You cannot modify these fields. For this field, there is an editable symbol. Means you can modify this field. Double click on this, make it 2,000. Sorry, 2 lakh. Means $200,000. Click on save. Now what happens? Everything changes again. Tax amount is changed automatically. Total amount is also changed. I want to do some clone. I want to get one more invoice. See what happened here. INV1000 is the invoice number. If I'm cloning on this, if I'm giving one more invoice after 2 days, again the same customer said, hey, I need some more services from you. I want to buy some more products. Now I'm charging this some more invoice to him. This $4 lakh. Clicking on save. Now my system will be having second record, that is INV-0001, and the sample ID is AA00002. Now you are using alphanumeric values, right? See, I can generate this auto-generated values like anything, like putting iPhone or directly like this. I can do like this. That's what you asked in this chart, right? But if you see this limitation, you can only create a sample IDs up to AA9999, means only create 10,000 records. Means from 1 to 9, means you only create 9,199 records. If you feel that your invoice object is too big, then you can go on like this. Okay, starting number is this. You can go on increasing this number to 99999 because it's really common. So for invoices, I can create 9999, totally 8 nines. That's too big. Means it's more than million. Okay, it more than 10 million. Okay, close to 10 million records. It depends. If you are creating more records, you put more and more numeric values. Obviously, certain number you are going to give as 1 or 0 also. Sometimes it starts from 0 also. Okay. So you have seen the formula field, that is this and this. Okay. And you have seen the auto number field. These are automatically generated values. Coming back to the invoice object, you are not going to do invoice ID and sample ID. These things are automatically generated. Formula fields, auto number fields are automatically generated. Even roll-up summary fields also. Now the requirement is, what I have done is, if I go to Elite Innovative Solutions, I can see the number of invoices on this customer. I can't see this field here. Tell me what I have to do. If I want to add a field on this screen, I have to go to the page layout, right? Each and every object will be having page layouts. You can have more than one page layout also. Or go, if I want to show the customer field on this screen, I have to go to the page layout of this. You can have more than one page layout. The current record, if there is a linked with big account page layout, it opens the big account page layout. Clicking on edit layout, it's related to account layout. That's okay. Now I'm going back to my total number of invoices. It's here. Dragging and dropping under SSEID. So I'll put it on the top. Okay, or else I'll put it here. Okay, number of invoices. Clicking on, click save. It saves and it will be on the same screen. This is the difference between these two. Save. It saves and go back to the previous screen. Now, if you see on the Elite Innovative Solutions, remember there are two invoices. See, it's here. NV0, NV1. Did it on today only, and you can see total number of invoices 2. This is you have generated with roll-up summary field, right? And you can see the invoices here. If there are 50 invoices, it shows the number as 50 here. The reason you have more options with the roll-up summary field, also you can put some filters based on some criteria. How many fields are there? How many invoices are there with more than $1 lakh amount? I can generate that report also. This is you are simply showing down some simple calculation based on your child objects on the parent object. Customer is the parent object. These are all child objects of account. Contacts, opportunities, trainings, invoices, cases, all are child objects. If you want to see the data model, come here. See. Consultants are child object. Invoices child object. Contacts is the child object. See. This button is going to here. This is going to account. Trainings is going to this. Means one to many. One to many. There are three options here, right? That's the symbol you can use. You can use them for relating to our scenario. So for one customer record, okay, Elite Innovative Solutions, there can be n number of contacts, n number of opportunities, n number of trainings, n number of invoices, n number of cases you can raise, n number of open activities you can we can create and we can schedule, n number of activity histories you can enable, show it on the screen, because these are all child objects. See, one to many, one account, multiple invoices, one account, multiple contacts, one account, multiple consultants, one account, multiple trainings. That's how you build data model. What we use for creating the roll-up sum. First, suppose if I want to build a relationship from my vendor to, this is a vendor object, there's no relationship going from this object to account object. Now, if I want to create a relationship, yes, we have two types of relationship. One is lookup, another is master detailed relationship. Okay, now I'm trying to copy down the lookup relationship. See, nothing to do, just drag and drop the lookup relationship field onto the vendor object. Now what you're doing is you are creating a lookup relationship from vendor to account, right? Now I am giving it as so what you are filling in this information, you are filling the account information, account, Okay, and I am giving it as automated fix the field name. To which object this is related to, which is the parent. I have to select here. I'm selecting account, that is customer in my scenario. Okay, because I renamed the account name to customer. Okay, now the child relationship name for this relationship of going from vendor to account is vendors. It's okay. Click on save. So this field name is also automatically generated from your relationship. See, now what happens is there is a lookup relationship going from account to the customer. Okay, got it? And I'm trying to do one more relationship, that is master data relationship, copying down the same thing, dragging and dropping the master data relationship. See, both the things are same, but there is a lot of difference between these two. Okay, account, I'm giving it as account 1. Okay, and I'm relating this object to customer. Okay, and I'm selecting vendors 1, vendors, at least label as vendors, but account 1. Why I got this vendors 1? Because the relationship name is already available in the system. That's the reason it shows automatically vendors 1. There is available, it automatically adds a new relationship by putting the additional number 1. Now this relationship is different from the previous relationship which I created. Okay, so sharing settings, these options are not available when I'm doing lookup relationship. Why it's available here? Because this is a special relationship. I will talk about the differences after finishing this. Okay, so if I'm giving read only, allow users to, so if I'm giving read only access means if you are having a master record access to you, then you can automatically see the child object access also, read only access. If I can even give read write access also. If I'm giving this option, if you are having the access to master object, then you obviously will be having access to the child object records also with read write permissions. This is a special permission you are configuring with master relationship, MD relationship. Okay, so if I'm creating this checkbox, if I'm checking this checkbox means I'm giving an option reparentable master detail. Child objects can now reparent to another parent records after they are created. Can reparented means can change their relationship, can modify and change their parent from one parent to another parent. Okay, I don't want to do that. I'm clicking on save. Now if you see the differences between these two. Okay, this is a master relationship. The second thing is lookup relationship. Lookup relationship is the loosely coupled relationship. MD relationship is the tight coupled relationship. Whenever you are trying to delete the master record on the master data relationship, then what happens is it deletes the child records, all the child records attached to that. When you are deleting the account, okay, it automatically deletes the vendor records also, all other child object records also. When you are deleting the account, if it is a lookup relationship, when you are deleting the account, you have two options in that scenario also. The two options are, one option is, I will show that option from this because I can't see that option in the schema builder, but I will show that option to you. If I go back to my lookup relationship, that is, see this, I click on edit. See, this is the lookup relationship. I can convert lookup relationship which looks like MD relationship by simply marking required option, because MD relationship it's always required. So coming down to my invoice, this is called MD relationship. The relationship going from invoice to customer is master detail relationship. That is the reason I have to enter the value of customer. Otherwise, I cannot enter the data. If you are using the lookup relationship fields or MD relationship fields, you will be seeing this lookup option. Okay, I have to select the parent object to create a child object record. To create invoice, I am selecting the parent object customer like this and saving it. Otherwise, I cannot save the record. Okay, got it? That is the property of master detail relationship. But lookup relationship also will be the same thing. You can also see the same lookup. You can also search for parents, but you cannot see the required option there. But I said that you can convert lookup relationship to very similar to master data relationship by simply clicking on this required option. Always require a value in this field in order to save the record. Means the MD relationship also will be having the same property. To save the child record, you have to map the parent record. It's necessary. For suppose let's save the record. I'm trying to save the record. What happens? It throws some error on the page. Suppose, let's see. I'm clicking on delete. I'm putting some. You must enter a value here, right? But I can even make this lookup relationship also required by selecting this option. But I want to show you these two things. What to do if your lookup relationship is deleted? When a parent is deleted, clear the values of this field. So when a parent is deleted, remove the so it's asking to clear the values. This is one option. Clear the value of the child record, the link between parent and child. So what I'm saying is, when I'm removing the parent record, when I'm deleting the parent, that is customer record, who all the child object records involved with this customer record, okay, with lookup relationship, will be having the value cleared. There is no value in their relationship when the record is deleted. But when you're selecting the second option, it won't allow the deletion of parent object. It won't allow the deletion of lookup record. That's part of lookup relationship. For suppose, if there's a lookup relationship from consultant to account, okay, there are two options in this relationship. First option is, if there is an account called Cerebral. Cerebral is a company, is an account in my system, and there are 4 consultants. That is Harsha and Arun and Vamshi. These are, and one more Srikant. Okay, these are 4 consultants. If I'm deleting the consultancy, if Cerebral has been out of business and they stopped their registration also, they stopped their business, then these consultants is still available in my system. I'm removing the account record, but these people are still in my system, but the account mapping is deleted, is cleared automatically. But the second scenario is, when I'm trying to delete the consultancy, it shows some error saying, hey, you can't delete this record. That are the options available in your lookup relationship. But in terms of master data relationship, when you're deleting the parent record, it automatically deletes the child records also. That's tightly coupled. If there's no parent, you won't have childs. Here, if you are removing parents, yes, if you're deleting parent, you are removing the link between the parent and child. That is one way. The other way is, don't allow the parent deletion. That's the scenario. I'm going to save. Nothing changes because I haven't modified. So now you got the differences. The lookup relationship is loosely coupled, but you can convert that lookup relationship into MD relationship by simply modifying. Yes. I'll answer this question, Arun. Yeah, that are with relationship fields. You can use lookup relationship and MD relationship for that, for connecting objects. For suppose if there's object called B and if there's object called A, if you want to connect A and B, if A is the master and B is the child object, then you can drag and drop the relationship field on the schema builder from to the B record. Means now you are building relationship from B to A. Okay, select this and select here. It's you are trying to create relationship from consultant to account or some other record. Right? In the current scenario, in terms of A to B, B to A, A is the if you want to connect B and A from B to A, you drag and drop the field onto the B object. Okay, what is hierarchical relationship? For suppose it allows the users to click a lookup icon and select another object from the pop-up list. So if you want to build hierarchical type of relationship, then you have to select this. Okay, hierarchical relationships are useful to show the things in a tree type of format. I will pick down some scenario when I'm trying with some example. Okay, but you can also build self relationship with lookup relationships and master data relationships also. What is self relationships? Sorry, you can only build with lookup relationship only, self relationships. The reason why I'm saying this is, what are self relationships? For suppose if you want to make parent account type of scenario, so if Reliance is the parent, industry is the parent company, and there are Reliance Retail, Reliance Petroleum, all these are child companies. Yes, I can create 3 customers in my system. RIL is the first account which I create, and I will create one more account called RIL Reliance Retail, and I will map the parent as RIL here, Reliance Industries, and Reliance Petroleum. Inside that record creation also I will map the lookup field to the parent account record. This is useful to connect customers. Or suppose some people have child companies also. One company is the head company and there are some small companies under that, subsidiary companies like this. In this case, you can use this scenario that is useful with lookup relationship. Okay. Anyway, I have showed you how to create the lookup relationship and master detail relationship from the vendor object to the same object. Right? I want to delete it again. I want to delete this. Yes, I can delete the fields also. It will be available for 15 days in the system. I can restore it whenever I want before 15 days. First of all, I deleted the first master detail field. Now I'm deleting the child record field. Now there is no relationship going from vendor to account. Now this is the independent object. Right? So I think you guys are very clear on this. So tell me how I use schema builder. Arun, can you speak now?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, what's your question?
Tell me why we build schema builder. Oh, sorry, why we use schema builder in Salesforce.
We use the schema builder because it's easier to add or create different objects and adding fields rather than doing from database end.
Exactly.
And
From backend
we
page.
can also, yeah.
Yeah.
So schema builder is the quicker way.
Okay.
The other one is, I think it's easier to understand when you have, all the tables and the relationships between the tables. It's easier to understand. That's why we use schema builder. Are there any other points?
Exactly. Yeah, These are good points. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. So anyway, so coming down to SOQL or SOSL, this is for Harsha. Okay, where he did very small part of class. Okay. Web use schema builder is so coming down to general technologies like Oracle. First of all, when you are building some applications, for suppose Java application with Oracle database, okay, you create first Oracle database, and you're going to create some tables and fields, okay. But in Salesforce, it's really easy to create tables, fields, the system. Simply by dragging and dropping the object, it creates the object. Okay, you can drag and drop the fields and create the fields on the object. So coming down to SOQL, you have to write a lot of queries. It's really simpler here. So for data modeling part, if general uh, technologies are taking 3 months or 4 months, it generally takes 2 to 3 days in Salesforce. And everything is too fast in Salesforce because all the options, most of the options are customizable. Okay, right? Yeah. So each and every option in Salesforce, they are simplified, okay, to reduce the developers' effort on anything. Okay, data modeling part. Okay, even this type of things can even the business analyst who don't know about anything about coding can create this. Earlier, when people are asking some POCs, right, you have to spend at least 3 to 4 months on Java project to run some POC for a customer. But now, yes, you can build a POC in less than 2 to 3 hours in Salesforce, a proof of concept for any customer. And again, the consultant who is sitting with the customer, he can directly create the objects, fields very quickly. The same thing it takes 3 to 4 months in general old legacy languages like Oracle, SQL, or MySQL. Okay, and again, you have to create the front end system also. You have to write Java coding, anything, everything, JSP pages. Really, it takes a lot of time. But coming down to Salesforce, yes, it takes again 1 more hour to do the front end thing also. That is the reason the Salesforce projects are too small and the teams are too short. So if you are working for 6 months in a Salesforce project, you are going to do a lot of things for the customer. You are doing a lot of customization for your customer. So whenever you're developing the coding also, with less number of lines, you can do a lot of operations. Salesforce simplified it. Salesforce did a lot of packages, system interface classes to you. It's easy to use and develop applications with Salesforce, advanced applications. So in the current the current class, we'll be trying to build some real-time applications which are needed to me. Okay. Yeah, we are using Schema Builder. One more important advantage is it's really useful to see the relationships. So you know about UML diagrams, what is the relationship from one object to another object, everything you have to build, right? But here it's really easy. You are seeing the data model in a visual format, and by this, or suppose if I am joining this project after 1.5 year, the project started before 1.5 year, and I am starting it from today. I can easily understand the project by clicking on Schema Builder. I can see the data model very quickly. I don't need to ask any UML or system diagrams or any database data model diagrams from the old documents. Okay, it's really quick. If you want to do some changes, you can really do very quickly. No need to go to query the things. Directly you can use it. Okay. The same options, what are the things what you can do in Schema Builder, you can even do it from the back end. I'll show how to do that. I'm clicking on setup, going out of Schema Builder, or I can click on this. Yeah. So this is the vendor object. How to go to vendor object? Click on setup. Okay. Scroll down to build module. Inside build there is a create, expand and create this, expand this create, click on objects. You can see all the custom objects in this option. You can see all the standard objects in this customize option. Okay, in this customize option you can see all the standard objects and fields and everything. Inside this custom objects, if I'm clicking on consultant, I'm trying to open the consultant object. This is the consultant object in the back end of Salesforce. Okay, this is the consultant object API name, and these are the standard fields given by Salesforce by default, and these are the custom fields created by you according to your requirements. So consultant is about consultant, consultant ID, date of birth, email, employer, last name, resume, visa status, years of experience. These are the information which I am trying to track in my Salesforce system. And these are all the validation rules, triggers, page layouts. This is the page layout for the consultant object. If you want to modify this, you can click on edit here, or else you can go to the consultant record. From quick access menu, you can click on edit layout. That's the best way to do that. But from here, you can see all the page layouts. You can create a number of page layouts for each and every object. I'll talk about that in the next class. I'm burning down my battery here. Okay. I think I can be live on this call for not more than 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, that's it, guys. In today's class, we discussed all this about schema builder options only. But okay, from tomorrow, we'll be working on validation rules. First of all, page layouts, validation rules, how to automate the means how to validate the data of the Salesforce system. So validation rules are also very simple. Generally, if you want to build some validations on any Java JSP page, it takes again 5 to 6 hours at least. But in validation rules, it generally takes 2 to 3 minutes to do some validation rules, advanced validation rules also. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
We're going to meet tomorrow at the same time at 9 o'clock. I will talk about the new topic in tomorrow's class about validation rules, page layouts,
Okay.
tomorrow's class.
Thank you.